Hello, Dave Knight here once again at knightcapitalmanagement.com. I want to welcome you. For those that are new and the first time to ever watch any of my blogs, obviously I am not as, I guess you can say, there's a lot of fancy things that other people do on YouTube. I like to get my message out there and show you what this trading method is and how I go about and how do I utilize it. The blog itself is Knight Capital Management, and my training and my educational videos you can find here that I'm making right now as we talk. Scroll down the right hand side, press the Day Trading Knight blog right here, and here's where you can find, if you want to just find one place where my educational videos are currently located, here at Day Trading Knight. Also under YouTube, you can find me under the username Trade Craze. That's TradeCraze. That's Trade Craze. And I like to say I'm not crazy, that's just craze. Once again, this is another way of being able to find my educational videos if that's all that you're looking for. What I want to do is go ahead and go into the trade itself, and let me just pause and get my trading system up. Okay, so I got my trading system up here, and this is I use Genesis Trade Navigator through Rockwell. It's actually the Rockwell Navigator Gold and so forth. But this is the classic template that I use, and there's a lot more details that I want to get into that I am right now not at liberty to speak because I am, well, make a long story short, I'm in discussions with a company, and I hope to have some answers for you soon so that we can learn together in maybe even in a better method as well. But I have fast forwarded the video to yesterday, and I wanted to show yesterday afternoon I had two entries into the market, and I want to show, let me get rid of this right here, that was the day before, and I want to show two entries that I had into the market on yesterday. So let me go ahead and get going here. Let me actually fast forward this a little bit, get it rolling. Okay, and we're coming up to 1 o'clock. So let me pause and rewind just a little bit. Now at 1 o'clock, was my first entry into the market. Now notice I had a dark green bar off of the system that I use, and this is the green volume down below that I decided to make my entry on. So let me go ahead and mark my targets that I used at the time. Okay, so this is my entry at 867 and a quarter on a limit order, 863 and a quarter stop. My first target was 873 and a quarter, and my long range target 892 and a quarter, and you can see that the ADR is hanging around at the 900 level as well, and all this is going to come into play. Not actually on this bar, but let me go ahead and fast forward and show you a little bit more of the trade. Okay, here we are at 115. As you can see, this bar itself, the low was 865, so I was well in. In actuality, I wasn't filled at 867.25. It actually went down first, and it came up. It got my entry, and then it moved to my target. So 873 and a quarter was my exit on this trade. Now this was just a target trade, and I went with that. This was with two contracts. In this case, I hit 873 and a quarter, and then as you can tell, I moved this one back up, and that was, so I got one half off it at the target here, and the other half kind of got stopped out in mid-range. So what I'm going to do is actually go and fast forward to 230, where my second entry came into the market. Okay, I wanted to show you just a little before the 230. Now, I took off half the contracts at 873 and a quarter 6 points beyond this. Now I have moved the rest of my contracts up halfway in between, and I took out actually that was 2 points to 869 and a quarter, and I was stopped out on this green bar going down in this case. I wasn't real comfortable with the volume. The volume was kind of tailing off, and so as you can see it went in. And then I had some profits, and with this profit on this trade is my decision why I went with 3 contracts on my next trade. So let's go ahead and take it to that point now. Now here's where the markets look like at 2:30 Eastern Time. This will be Tuesday, October 28th. As you can see, it made a nice run right here off of this bar. Now I did debate about coming in off of this entry, but we're still below this bar, and you know, it just didn't really have a lot of room. I thought if it turned the other way. It had a nice pattern going. When we broke this resistance here at in this case 875 and 3/4, 875.75, I looked at this as a very good entry to go ahead and get long. Now let me go ahead and put my targets in once again. Okay, so here's how I entered my trade: 877.5 on 3 contracts with a stop at 873.5. I was basically risking the profit that I had made on this trade right here, just to take a shot for this. Now I looked at 883.5 and I adjusted down to 891.5, and my plan at this point in time, if it really rolled like these 2 long bars, if we had a third long bar going up, I'd have one off here, the second one off here, and the third one eventually I wanted to follow the green line. Now it's going to stop management is going to be what I'm going to talk about in the remaining part of the trade. So let me go ahead and fast forward to the part where I have this one and so forth. Okay, so here we are at 2:45 p.m. Eastern Time. As you can see, 883.5 has already been taken out, and that leaves me with 2 contracts. Now the bar opened up here, but it still is pretty close to 883. We're at 888 right now. Now I moved the remaining of my contracts just so to protect any downfall or whatnot. I moved it all up to 1 point, and I was at 878.5 on 2 contracts. The green line down here at 873.25, that's actually too low for me to move to that. I was actually waiting for it to catch up with me. So let's go ahead and fast forward for the next 15 minutes. Actually, let me just go ahead and fast forward the tape a little bit and show you my next exit. Kind of flirted around at this area. Now all this happened before 3 o'clock. So here I am. I've got one off at 883.5. I got the second one off at 891.5. Now this is worth $300 between 877.5 or 6 points. And this 891.5 to 877.5 is worth $700. So $300 and 7. Right now, for every 2 contracts you're trading, this trade just made $1,000. Now this is extreme movements in the market, but this is what we've been getting, folks, lately in the market. And when is it going to go back to normal? Well, I really don't know. But right now, I mean, you have to take the risk. On the downside risk is that you got stopped out on the move quick and whatnot. And the upside risk is that this trade itself is going to end up making $1,000 on every 2 contracts, and for every 3 contracts that you're trading, as you're going to notice, it's going to earn you $4,125. And I'm not that's exactly right, $4,125 on every 3 contracts. So let me go ahead and pause this tape and fast forward the tape a little bit further. Now roughly at 3 o'clock, you can see the green line on my last contract that I have open is at 878.25 right here, 878.25, and I was sitting at 878.5. So I still kept my same stop, and I was looking to move up, and at 3 o'clock I moved all of it up to 883.5. I wasn't willing to risk my gains on the rest of this trade. If it did decide to go up to this high and hit the ADR and come down, I wanted to take a risk. I was happy with 883 with all this whole trade with another 6 points out of it. So that was my thinking. Okay, since I'm running short on time, I want to show you how I moved my stop and then my exit. Okay, on the next bar printed, 881.5, 883.5. I'm still at 883.5. Here we are at 3:30, and you can see we're at 908, actually 909.75, and then I'm here at 888.25. and my final exit is at 9:40. Here's the 4 o'clock exit at 9:40, 4,125. I'm out of time. Dave Knight here at Knight Capital Management. I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.